because we're live. We gotta tweet the thing first. Why don't you learn from everything that we've ever done?
It's true. It's true. We get the 5 minutes of Jacob having to like an old man get the link and type it out, text
I
it out,
mean, it's
send
a
it out.
lot, dude. You don't
Oh,
know
I
how
believe
much
it.
work it is because you just don't do it. That's the thing.
Yeah, you're right. First time I've ever done a show before.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. Have you ever done one on Riverside, hosted on this platform?
On this platform, I can say I have not.
That's what I thought. So, why don't you shut the fuck up with some cheese, huh? How about that?
Little testy this Thursday. Little testy. That's fine. We did schedule this for a Thursday so that the intro does make sense. So love that for us. We've joked about it for the last couple times. Like, hey, when's the last time we actually did a show on a Thursday? Guess what? It's Thursday, baby. NFL Draft Day. We're
How do you
out here.
spell? How do you spell preview, everybody? Fuck. Why am I so annoyed right now?
I don't know. Hot underneath the collar. That's Jacob Rodriguez. I don't think Texas State has anybody drafted. That's my hot take today. It's like the first round of the NFL draft, so that's probably an obvious thing. But I don't know if anybody gets drafted from this class going in. I think there's going to be some guys who sign unrestricted free agency type situations, and then I think there's some situations where they probably could get drafted in the 6th or 7th round. And they just go like, nah, I'm good. I'd rather not. I'd rather not get drafted. I'd rather have the choice of going where I want to go, which is always cool. I think that that's a really fun wrinkle because you get paid. I think you get paid less. Yeah, you do. You get paid less as an unrestricted free agent because you don't have that contract. But at the same time, you now get to pick where you want to go. So there it happens a lot in the NBA as well because it's a 2-round draft. There's guys at the back end of the 2nd round that are like just crossing their fingers. Please don't draft me. I'd rather.
Tired of winning the tailgate but losing the games? We can't help that. But we can tell you what the hell is up with each team and what's going on across sunny San Marcos. Texas State fans, get on your feet. You're listening to Squaring Around with Jacob Rodriguez and Andrew Zimmel.
What's up, everybody? Namaste. I'm sorry. I fired the live up. Andrew just says words and pisses me off. You know what it is? This week, Andrew and I are getting back with our toxic ex, Texas State football. They keep saying they're going to get their act back together, and guess what? We're the dumb guy walking around the corner just hoping things do change.
Boom, getting hit in the head with a 2x4. Yeah.
But you know what, Andy? Things on paper, at least as we look to get back with our toxic ex, Texas State football, do look different this year. We're in a new neighborhood, right? The Pac 12. We've got some new rotating cast of characters. Greg Burrell is off the team.
I was gonna say for paperwork. I mean, you want to have a criminal complaint? There's
a
one
few
right there.
things that have changed, and I think we can all agree. In GJ Kinney's 4th year, Michael Jordan just fell over here.
Saw that
Yeah, I did.
in the background.
It's like either he came to life right now, like some sort of Disney movie, or something drastically wrong is happening in Milwaukee. By the way, my parents, shout out Mario and Lisa,
Shout
were
out.
very concerned about you and the storms in Milwaukee. It's been raining for a week and a half in San Antonio. No calls, no texts, no nothing.
No, you guys have better sewage infrastructure.
I
We got
disagree,
flooded.
sir.
Oh, I don't know.
The entire reason the Riverwalk was made because there was this horrible flood that happened over here. It killed like hundreds of people.
Well, 100 people did not die this week in Milwaukee, but there was a lot of rain. I think we got like 3 inches one night, which is,
Hey,
talk about toxic
that's
acts.
huge.
That's a lot of rain.
That's a
of
lot.
rain.
Nobody wants more than 3.
Nobody wants more than 3. Tornadoes, touchdowns. Yeah, it was a whole thing. I appreciate your family for looking out for me and being
Yeah, no, I got a
concerned.
text from my dad. Like, I think I texted you the screenshot.
Yeah.
It was like Tuesday, and I kind of like blew him off. And then he was like, "Hey, you never got back to me. Is Andrew alive?" And I was like, "Dude, you forget I'm your son. You know that, right? You could just hit me up, ask me how I'm doing."
How you doing?
How you
Fine.
doing?
How's Zimmel doing? That's the more
Zimmel
important
doing?
question.
Hey, by the way, because right? You gave me a lot of shit at the start of the show. Old man Jacob didn't know how to do anything right. So I was trying the whole time I was doing that. I was trying to make like a new thumbnail for us to like push it out, you know? Because I was like, okay, we we're meeting our toxic ex. Got to be on our P's and Q's. I filed for a credential to be at the spring game. Doesn't feel real.
Spring practice.
Pinch me. I'm dreaming. I get to cover this team again, and and like I was like, oh, let me just grab like one of old like another picture of me and Andrew. But you and I have been in the lab grinding for so long. Those are shadows of the men that we used to be, Andrew. So I'm gonna have to steal something from this show.
Well, I'm glad I dressed up for it. Glad I wore a collared shirt for
I
the
know,
show.
I know. So we got to get our act together because
That's
football is right around the corner. Let's take a polygraph test real quick, Andrew. Do you know anything about this team?
I know more about this team than I think I knew about last year's team, to be completely honest with you.
Really?
And partly because of Greg Burrell's arrest. Because of that arrest, I had to then look at the depth chart, and I have the depth chart up in front of me now too. But I had to look at the depth chart to kind of figure out like what does that running back room look like?
Now
Because
this depth chart, I feel like that's just
Why?
these are just guys who are currently at Texas State
And
for
that's
what I
tot-
think.
And that is totally fair. That's a totally fair point. But my zag to that is like Kriston Jr. and Bo Sparks are still on this team, right?
Facts, yeah.
They're still on the roster. They're just adjusted to be wide receiver 1 and 2. Brad Jackson, for the first time in almost a decade, Texas State's going to have a quarterback that you can kind of like guarantee this dude will start every game. Since I would go all the way back to Tyler Jones. We haven't really had a quarterback that you go like, hey, I know that this guy's going to play the majority of the snaps this season, which we did not know before last season. We didn't know really the wide receiver room or the quarterback room. So, I mean, like, I feel pretty good, honestly, about where I'm at with this team. And the other part is, last year you came in thinking, okay, this is what the defense is, and, like, how is that going to kind of shape up? Will these transfers make sense? Now it's a new DC. So you kind of come in knowing, like, hey, it's going to be a completely different look defense. So, like I said, I feel like I know more about this team just construction-wise this year than I did last year.
Yeah, I mean I think that's kind of been like the MO, right? Like this team was kind of known for having the most portal transfer additions in GJ Kinney's first year in years 1. I think in years 2 kind of skewed that way a little bit too. But they slowly have been adding like through the high school ranks, and you'll see that in like who they have at quarterback, at wide receiver. They've made like some splashes in the DB room as well. I'll be honest. I really don't pay attention to this. I don't like paying attention to this. It sucks because you know what I don't like? I don't like meeting people and then establishing a relationship and then losing them. So instead of doing that, I just don't.
Is that both a professional and a personal thing, or?
Yes, to be honest, it is. Yeah.
How
You know
many-
me.
how-
I'm the South Texas Godfather, dude.
I was gonna say,
These
how many-
relationships, they mean so much to me.
How many first name and then dating app for last names do you have in your phone?
Oh, dude, so many.
Yeah, so you don't like to build a relationship and then immediately lose it. So
Yeah.
I get that. I understand.
But like you're
that part.
saying too, on the offensive side of the ball, Texas State returns 2,000-yard receivers in Bo
Yeah.
Sparks and Chris Don.
And the best quarterback they've had in a decade. And
Yeah.
that's no shade to.
Pretty sick.
Like, again, like Jordan McLeod was very good. TJ Finley was very good. There's plenty of guys, but like Brad Jackson last year blew me out of the water. Like everybody gave me crap about my feelings for him at the beginning of the season. By the end of the season, I was all the way bought in on him. I feel like he consistently got better. I feel like he had an entire offseason to work now. So he's going to be a better quarterback this season than he was last season. And he was a pretty good quarterback last season. I mean, you see some of these Twitter accounts that post like best quarterbacks in the group of 5 or best quarterbacks in Texas. And, DCTF is going to come out with their preview here pretty soon. And they're going to have him probably ranked top 4 quarterbacks in the state. So you feel pretty good about where you are if you're a Texas State fan with this quarterback.
Pretty sick, low key.
Now the wild thing
I really
to
don't
me,
know
here's-
anything else. Honestly,
Here's the wild thing to me, and we'll see in the spring game how many snaps he gets. But I want to know the gap between him and Arch Manning, because Arch was projected to be the number 1 overall pick in this upcoming in 2027's draft, right? But we saw last season he got injured. And Brad Jackson came in as a relative unknown and close that gap to where nobody would say that they're the same level of quarterback, but we'd say like, hey, they live in the same city. They're not in the same neighborhood, but they're in the same city. So I want to know what his offseason looked like, what Arch's offseason looked like. And it's totally not fair because Arch is going to throw to better talent and have a better offensive line and all these other things. But just from quarterback play, I have a sneaking suspicion that they're going to be in the same neighborhood this season. And that's a really bold take considering that Texas State is a new team into the Pac-12 and a team that's knocking on that door to be considered, not Power 4, not Group of 5, but like somewhere in between.
I can't believe he was almost more than 3/4 of the way to 1,000 yards on the ground last year.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to think about. 4 touchdowns rushing, or 17 touchdowns rushing.
It was funny for people to talk about him as like, oh, he's a Tim Tebow-like quarterback, because he really wasn't. But, I mean, the dude was physical. Like, he got hit a couple times last year, and we were like, wow. And he's only like 6 foot tall. So it's not like he's like this giant, like TJ Finley got beat up.
And I mean, was that
giant.
like really? I mean, he just had to put the team on his back. That's why Barack Obama, the statesman. Remember, I was trying to get that going for a while.
So if last year
We
was
did see
hope,
a couple losses though. Literally made you cry though. Like the Arkansas State one, that was tough. I think
Marshall.
we expected the Arizona State one to happen. The Marshall one was kind of ridiculous, I think, at points. And yeah, I don't know.
No, you go down the list. It was a 7-6 season last year. That team could have won 9 games, and they left. They left so much on the field. So, hope last year with a new quarterback, change this year with a new conference. I'm feeling pretty good about hope and change in Barack. What would you call him?
Barack Obama.
Yeah, I feel pretty good.
I kind of forgot we played Eastern Michigan, but it's because I wasn't there. Yeah, the Troy one was tough.
Yeah,
the JMU one, I won, or I knew we were gonna go to.
Louisiana was tough.
I totally forgot about that one. Yeah, see. Sorry, everybody. I'm revisiting.
And then they beat
past
the
on
dog.
this
Like then they played tight with Rice for a half, and then ended up beating the dog piss out of them. And it was like, hey, actually, it wasn't all that close. But if you watch that game, that first half was a dogfight. That first half we looked bad. And we just had to wake up in the second
game too. The first quarter, I remember not being pretty, and I was like, "Wow, we might lose this." To be honest.
But again, you go back and look at these scores, and you say to yourself, "Hey, it wasn't Brad Jackson or the running backs or the quarterback or any of the offensive. It was the defense. The defense continues to stink." So now
after week 2, we might have as well been in talks for one of the best teams in the country. And that was a really fun 2 weeks of this show.
Let's relax.
It's true, right? That's how everybody was acting.
Well, you go back to the Jordan McLeod season, and it was like, hey, college football playoffs, like you can knock on the door, and then you were disappointed. And last year I said, no,
that's the one. I still think that second-year team should have won a Sun Belt title. Like those guys, that was a ridiculous roster. You could look at everybody that left from that team and then went to a Power 4 school and then started, or if they didn't start, they were coming off the bench in like very regular amount of time. Like it's kind of
making an impact for sure.
Yeah.
So spring game is this weekend. Like it's spring practice, quote unquote.
Spring showcase.
The big thing to me is like, how is this packaged? Right? Because I want it as an entertainment value. Now I won't be there, and I don't think it's not going to be on ESPN Plus. So we're not gonna. If you're not there, you're not going to see anything. I know Kef, Colton, Zach, and Jacob will be there, so they'll be putting.
Originally, I will be there.
They'll be putting out content for those of us that aren't going to be at the game or can't be at the game, practice, whatever you want to call it. But like, I want to know how they package this, because I thought that the last couple seasons they didn't get packaged correctly. I think more colleges are doing more of a, showcase, making it more fan involved. Like I saw some having like kids day things almost, where like, you can push the sled. Like, I think that's kind of what Texas State needs to lean into, because right now it's the most important time to kind of try to suck up some money when it comes to like boosters and comes to donations. You're going into a new conference. Give the fans something that they can be invested in this weekend. Give them something that they can like be excited for the fall, and then try to get their pocketbooks, because that's what you're going to need going into a new conference. And you go through the rest of these teams, And I just haven't seen the Pac-12 do nearly enough in my mind post March Madness of getting everybody excited. Because yeah, you have the college baseball playoffs and you have softball going on, but I thought they could have really owned the month of April going into the summer and just going like really putting out propaganda.
I would assume that there would be some sort of Pac-12 representation out there on Saturday. Maybe that's why I had to apply for a new credential. Maybe that's why, as a person who can currently cover any team I want to right now, I have to do something like that. Maybe I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and be like, oh, maybe things are changing perhaps. Perhaps maybe there's going to be some special guests in attendance. I don't know. I haven't been tipped off in any way.
What special guests are you expecting?
I was in the story archives just now, if you saw that on the screen, because I was trying to see if they had pushed anything out, like specifically about this, because they used to be really big, like time to buy like former players' gear. And I guess this is the last year that you can buy some of that Sunbelt equipment if they do that. I don't know if they're doing that because, again, we don't know anything that's going on at this thing.
Can I tell you one of my biggest regrets?
What?
We went to the Sunbelt tournament in 2018. I want to say 2018, 2019.
Yes.
In Louisiana.
Yes.
And I could have stole one of the Sunbelt things that they put in the middle of the table, right? Like it's like a centerpiece, but it had like the Sunbelt logo on it. It was glass. It was huge. And I had my backpack and I thought about just yoink, put it in there and just dip in, but I didn't. And I think about that sometimes, like how cool it would be.
That's to keeps you up at night.
Yeah, not all the time, but like I wake up some nights being like, I should have stole that. Klepto, like, you know, hey, sticky fingers. I didn't, so could have, should have, didn't. So if the Sunbelt wants to send us some stuff.
Is there anything else that you regret? Yeah, if Sunbelt wants to send us stuff, I'll rock Sunbelt gear on this show. I don't care.
Any other regrets do I have about Texas State?
No, about that time that you went to go cover NOLA in 2018.
I should have been meaner to Nigel Pearson.
Wow.
I should have been meaner to Nigel Pearson. He was so bad in that semifinal game. 0 of 22. Like, I should have been 22 missed shots, Jacob.
Low key, what team has underachieved more? Probably basketball, I guess.
Men's basketball.
In the last decade, men's basketball by far has done the least.
With the most, yeah.
The least with the most, yeah, 100%.
It did not help that the coach, by all accounts, probably was racist.
By some of the most trusted sources we have, likely racist.
Likely racist. Probably doesn't help team morale or like to get them over the hump. And then the new head coach was on that old head coach's staff and talks in anecdotes and metaphors. My thing is, like, it must be hard. You lose a game on the road to Marshall. It's a long flight back, and we got the coach talking about Wendy's. Like, we need to rebound. Like, we need to get boards. What's holding us back? Our half-court defense is non-existent. They're running the same play over and over and over again, and we can't stop the 2-foot hook shot from a JMU big. What's stopping it? What's the holdup? I would be very frustrated.
I guess
maybe so much so that I would transfer to a different school.
To revisit this entire thing, spring showcase.
Yeah.
Spring game? Barbecue? I don't know what I'd want in an ideal situation, but I hate covering recruiting already. So I guess if you're the head coach and you just had to pay these guys NIL money to stay, right? So what would you say on a roster that is 65 guys, right?
Ooh, I like where your head's at.
You know you're going to have at least 20 of those, right? Like guaranteed you guys are here because we just paid you a bag to be here kind of money.
Or your girlfriend's here and
so
she
you
can't
take
get into
those
another
20
school.
guys out of the mix completely and you just make them like hyper available to any media person there, right? And you just say, hey, these 20 guys in these, I don't know, let's give them all like quarterback jerseys, like black quarterback jerseys. Mm-hmm. You guys can talk to these guys as much as you want. You can go on a field trip with them. You can do whatever you want. They're here. This is their availability right now.
Yeah.
And then we just get Brad Jackson for the day. And then you fill Bobcat Stadium, or UFCU Stadium, I'm sorry, not to dead name the football stadium, with bouncy houses for children's. In the south end zone, you have a barbecue or like some sort of a...
Yeah, what if we put all the kids in...
And then
bouncy houses, and then we have barbacoa on the other.
Barbacoa, you got Cross
is this-
foil.
This is like a family reunion. This isn't like
All of that would be way more hyper productive, I think, than doing whatever they're going to do on Saturday. I think that's a better show of force for the university and the athletics department. Maybe you get to do like basically a pep rally.
Here's my suggestion. You know how like when you're doing a fundraiser, you have like the little bubble that you fill in. So I like where your head's at with that 20 players thing. Here's how we do it. The other 20 guys that you want to keep that you can't because you don't have the NIL money, you put their faces and you put it all down the side. And it's just like, we need this much money today to keep these guys. So start breaking off the bread. Let's go. And then just as the day goes, have like an intern or one of the SIDs just filling it up. It's like, we did really good this year. We kept 15 of the 20 guys and went
Get to keep Caleb.
the goal was to get 1.5. We ended up getting 990,000. So sorry, this guy's leaving. You guys didn't cash out enough.
Sorry, guys. He'll be at Utah State. Damn
Hate to
it.
see it. He's joining Angelo State. He's going to be their highest paid player. He would have been our 15th highest paid player here, but Angelo State was able to break off that extra $2,500 or $2,500 for
It's
him.
low key sad too, I guess, because sometimes it'll be the last time that you see those guys in Bobcat jerseys too. Remember,
But
everybody
not-
was like, the guy from Idaho is going to be the starting quarterback, and I was like, huh? And then we never even saw that guy again.
He got
like,
3 great months in San Marcos. Honestly, the best
he
time to
hung
be in
out,
San
got
Marcos.
a great tan.
Spring into early summer, and then he was like, vacation's over, time to go to another school.
It's
Like,
like, boy, howdy, let's go be a depth chart guy in Boise.
yeah, what does that sublease look like? Hey, I'm subleasing this summer. Oh, cool. Where are you staying? Oh, I'm just.
You're forgetting the athletics department puts these guys up.
Where?
It's they have like a
dorms?
deal with hotel. No, not hotel.
Oh,
with
in
apartments.
hotels.
With apartments, bro.
Man, that's how we ended up in that Comfort Inn, man. I guarantee you that's why we're not keeping these recruits.
No, we ended up in a Comfort Inn off of I-35 next to Chili's. I will dox us now because we're not there. That's how you do it. My brother, who gave our location away to a Chili's waitress. Crazy.
I kept both my kidneys. I don't know what you're mad about.
Yeah, I mean, I was up half the next night, so yeah, I was standing watch for us. You're welcome. But anyway, we ended up out there because you did poor research for that wedding.
It was a fun time. I have no.
So
no
I
regrets.
get oddly sentimental, I guess. It is a tone setter. I'm trying to like think about what I want to do at the spring game. Like, should I just take my phone? Should I take a podcast setup? Do I take my camera? This would be my first year I don't take my camera, but the audience is here. Let's do this. By the way, screensaver.
Yeah.
Andy Trouty and me.
Just screensaver. I don't know. So I would bring your camera if I just again unsolicited advice. I would bring the camera just in case, you know. But also nobody else is gonna. Well, I guess Zach will be the only other person that does like any sort of multimedia type of deal.
I don't know, but then they do that like the offense, special teams, like.
Let me tell you, if
Now we're gonna
I
when we
was
start from here. We're gonna be over here. We're
If
gonna
I
do
was the
picks now.
person-
We're gonna.
if I was the person running KTSW, I would have hit you up already and been like, "Hey, do you want to do like a guest 20 minutes on the show? Like, do you want 20 minutes on the show to talk?"
What am I gonna talk about though?
That's exactly right. But put the ball in your court, because what are they going to talk about?
That's true.
Who knows?
I
Like,
think
at least
it's
having
cool.
you on would like be like, oh, you know, podcast host, person who covers the team, pull Colton in, you know what I mean? And like, so then that just eats up some time. Bring some coaches on. Like, I already look in
Like
5 seconds. I
whatever
put
we're
together
doing
a
right
show.
now is already way more production value than it's gonna be out there on Saturday.
Oh, guaranteed.
100% guarantee it's gonna be very fly by our vest type
and
environment.
that's what
There-
the
I
first-
can almost guarantee that they're gonna introduce the new women's basketball coach, Coach Chris Kilsmeyer. He's been making his rounds everywhere, so maybe I'll get to meet him for the first time.
Yeah, ask him what his recruiting plans are.
Yeah, I saw he posted a picture with his staff. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's for the first year they did something like this. It was good. Like Brant was doing interviews on the field and stuff. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I remember he interviewed Ben Bell the year that he ended up not playing. I guess he played like 3 games, right?
Shout out like the whole season. Shout out like the whole freaking season. So, and then he stunk it up at Virginia Tech. What's up with that?
You got
Hold
paid
on
though?
there.
Did he get paid? How was the paper?
Paper was pretty good.
There you go.
Solid paper.
So instead
I don't
of
know.
being a Bobcat legend, he went off to be mid somewhere else.
There's a lot of guys who are like that. A lot of guys who check that box. So are you worried? Let's pivot back to football a little bit more. Are you worried with Burrell being arrested / off the team now with the running back room? Because last year, people, myself included, were thinking that the running back room was going to be the best in the Sun Belt. You go into the Pac-12. I don't know. It's hard to say what the other teams are going to look like, but you got to think one of those teams 2 years ago had a Heisman finalist. So Boise State probably will come back with a pretty damn good running back room. Are you worried about that aspect of the game?
Too long didn't read. I guess we do have to rehash the whole Greg Burrell thing in the first place, according
We
to.
really don't. I mean, we could just be like, hey, he's not on the team
I know,
anymore.
but like this is just like for the record, in case somebody is watching our videos chronologically. Maybe they just started watching the podcast. They're like, nah, let me go back to season 1 when Kenny first got. Oh, hey, now they're with DCTF. Oh, now year 2. Wow, that team was really good. Why didn't they do anything?
Are you in a coma and it autoplays? Like, why would you do that? That's crazy.
Dude, some people do that.
That's how they get their
Our
politics.
views, like for this stuff, anything categorized as football, like people just watch this year round. It's kind of insane.
And let me tell you,
So let me
funny
just
thing,
talk about Greg Burrell for a
the
second.
funny thing. Sorry, last point. The funny
Golly.
thing is,
Could you guys imagine doing a podcast with this guy?
This is how I get my politics too, is from swearing around. It's like, what happened? They
that's
kidnapped who?
This is what he held up this news for, everybody. That mid joke. So you know what? I don't want to hear anything if any of these guys leave to Virginia Tech, because instead of staying true to the program, this show, he went off to make a lame joke, and this is what we get now.
It paid off. Good paper.
Anyway, as Colton McWilliams reported, I trust this guy's reporting with my life, baby. Greg Burrell was arrested last week after an apparently like an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, or was it like a firearm? Like,
Yeah, that would be a deadly weapon.
no, but was it like a discharge, or that's what I'm trying to remember. Hang on, let me pull it up because I just hard retweeted on Squaring Around. Yeah, deadly conduct to discharge.
Not great. Where was
So-
a deadly contact on a
I haven't read
32?
the affidavit for this. I haven't even pulled the mug. I haven't pulled the incident report. I haven't done anything because I've been so busy in TV land this week. When it rains, literally it pours over here. The building had leaks. I'm working 6 days this week. I worked on Sunday. It was awful. But yeah, it's a super sad situation because allegedly a crime happened. Number one, right? So you got an alleged perpetrator and an alleged victim. And then also, for everybody that's just been keeping up with us for so long, me and Andrew been huge on Greg Burrell. We think the world of the guy. But obviously,
I thought, hold on. I thought he was a good running back. I thought he was a
You
good
too.
running back. Thought he was a
You
good
too.
running back. Don't want to be looped in with like the Greg Burrell super fans. That's
yeah.
not me.
Hey, that's why it's important to tell a story, right? You got to listen to the whole thing through.
We were really high on the guy on the field.
On the field.
On the field.
We had no idea what he was doing off the field. And then, and yeah, that's it. Really. I guess.
OJ Simpson of Texas State.
What?
That's what they call him.
He didn't go on the run.
If you gave him the opportunity.
I mean, I don't
Where
know
was
the story,
this?
I guess,
Where
either.
was this aggravation on 3rd and 2? Where was this when we were getting on the field? That's my thing.
I'm going to have to pull the incident report now, I think.
Yeah.
He was released on bond, though, so couldn't have
He
been
was
that
also
high.
released from the team. I thought Texas State did a really good job, considering this is where you learn from your mistakes, right? The Delora thing was so mishandled that, like, this situation, they got it right. They were like, yeah, you're off the team, and then we have no comment. Like, yeah, we're good. We're done. It's over. I thought they did the right thing there.
Because we were still getting accosted for weeks. Like, wow, you guys don't want to win? This case was handled in Hawaii. Okay, everybody. Maybe. And let's pump the brakes. And don't act like the internet's not a thing, right? You could go on Maroon and Golden and see exactly who was talking about that. So wipe your internet browser clean before your wife finds out everybody online.
And here's the other thing. Hawaii? I don't know if I trust their legal system. It feels like there's a lot
Why?
of people
What do you
who
mean?
I feel like there's a lot of people getting off with some shady stuff in Hawaii. That's all I'm gonna say. Like the guy who killed his wife on a cruise ship, that story's been going on for like a month. Hawaii, what's going on? What's happening?
Fair.
I'm just
Fair
saying.
point.
Like, don't Hawaii figuring it out?
It's
I don't know.
kind of like what I said or what I say at work when certain things happen. I won't even give like a specific example because you're like, why are you applying it in this way, Jacob? But like innocent or guilty, like if you're just like, I guess like you're just a football guy, you might not find yourself in that situation, I would say.
Innocent or guilty, it's a culture thing at Texas State, and we don't want bad dudes around the team. It
That's
took us
true.
a decade to clean the house the last time. Like, no,
Yeah, I mean, Everett Withers famously gave Colton the quote of like,
a lifetime.
The
I wouldn't
lifetime.
want
He
to
was
bring
like,
my
I
family
had-
around these guys.
yeah,
Like,
I wouldn't
what?
want to bring my family around this. Yes, that's what he said, point blank period. And then also he was like, we had drug dealers and gang members on this team.
You recruited them. These are your players.
No. His first year, remember that?
Clean house. You were at a national champion FCS program, and this is before NIL, and I guess before plane tickets. Like, go bring those guys.
Before NIL and before plane tickets.
I mean, what's the holdup? Hey, I had a team full of like great players, great, excellent, and I'm not bringing any of them with me. Even better, cool. Like, no, like GJ Kenny was like, I had a team that didn't even win in Incarnate Word. Like they came in, they lost in the semifinal.
This is like the worst.
Cool.
Like if all of those guys could like come in avatar form and give advice to GJ Kinney, like GJ is like going through a really rough past season, right? He's in the middle of the night, he's tossing and turning. He has a dream. Everett Withers, Jake Spavital, and who else shows up?
David Bailiff. But he's just there. He's just in his room. He's not an avatar.
He's not an avatar.
He's a sleep paralysis demon.
Jake Spavital's like, yeah, I was locked in a closet with Larry Ties my first day. How are you? What?
What?
How do they do this here?
Things have gotten so much better, and yet very similar. Nothing has really changed.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, too, you see sort of the success, not to directly compare us to UTSA, but the success that those guys have had over the years. And then a guy robbed a dude for a PlayStation.
I give it a C. I think this is the last year that Jeff Traylor's there. I'm putting it on the record now. He is so frustrated from every quote I read from that guy. He is so frustrated with that like organization that I don't think he's there much
But
longer.
what would he do? Would he go hang out?
He's gonna
Where?
retire. He's made hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like he's
That's
fine.
good. I mean, they
He
paid
is
him, what,
fine.
10 million for 10 years or
He
something
is
like ridiculous like that?
he is so good financially, and like it's not like he just woke up at 65 and was like, gotta get a job. Like he's been a coach
Gotta
his whole
get a
life.
job.
You know, like he's fine.
Dude, you're all time today.
I'm just saying, like it's like every quote I read from that guy, UTSA, if they do not win the conference this year, I don't think he's around. I think he's just like, why am I putting up with this? Like, I want this, no money. I want that, no money. I want this, no money. Oh, by the way, my best players could get poached during the season. Like he said multiple times during the season, they go on road trips, and he's like, other coaches are here soliciting my players to leave. Like, I think he's out.
And
JJ
you
Kinney on
would
the other-
think, like he's gone on national TV and said that. And you would think, hey, maybe the NCAA is going to do something. Nope.
they don't care.
They are
don't
at the bar seeing this guy get jumped and not jumping in.
at all. They're like, how can we help Dabo Sweeney? Okay. What are we doing to make sure that our revenue shares are better?
Which kind of tells me the entire system is BS, except track and field, the purest of all sports.
Yeah, the sport that introduced the world to horse tranquilizers.
Though I will say, with the evolution of recruiting international guys, there are some 31-year-olds running at the NCAA Division I level right now.
Grown men, yeah. That's tough. Hey, did you watch the Boston Marathon?
I did. Well, parts of it. I
Your
went to go
thoughts?
track my coach. Shout out my coach, Jenny, who ran 3:21 in her like 20th or 22nd or 23rd. She's ridiculous. Boston Marathon.
Damn.
Absolutely.
23
ridiculous.
Boston marathons?
And did you know, Andrew, this is a fun fact. All the runners will already know I'm talking about this, but that the American record cannot be set at Boston, which is kind of insane.
Because of the hills?
It's because like it's a net downhill, and so like it just like defeats like the whole like USATF like elevation thing, because they broke the American record last, but
But it doesn't count.
It doesn't count. So no real records can be set at Boston, which is really interesting to me. There's so much history. I got kind of lost.
I have a joke.
I was like,
I'm
wow,
gonna
that's
make.
really what I'm working for.
I have a joke I can make here, but because we're a live show and because I'm a mature individual, I'm not going to make it. But I will say it has to do with sex. It has to do with Boston, and that's it. That's all I'm going to give you. That's all I'm going to give you.
Wow, what a tease.
That's all I'm going to give you. Can't make the joke, but it's there. It's there to make.
Maybe they should just do some like Dude Perfect type stuff at the spring showcase. Just be like, Brad, throw it over them mountains. Hey, you guy who I don't know his name
Texas
yet.
State loses quarterback for a season because he tore his rotator cuff on some.
Everybody
BS.
wear names too, please. That would be quite helpful instead of numbers that might be wrong depending on the jersey situation.
I think the NFL does that where they put like the numbers on the people's helmets like during training camp and stuff. So it's like you can, because on film you're watching guys, you want to make sure like, hey,
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I need them all to wear like a little thing right here with like their actual face on it from the roster pick, so I can like line it up and be like, yes, this guy, aha.
Well, I remember last year I was like, oh, this running back had a great game in like the spring game, and Colton was like, he didn't play. What? Oh no, they just gave him somebody else's number. Cool.
Revisionist history.
Love that. Yeah.
I remember last year I saw Jalen Jenkins ripped out of his mind. He was so ripped that I was like, is this a transfer? Who is this guy?
Is he still on the roster?
Jalen Jenkins? Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's the running back one now, I think.
Redshirt senior. Yep.
Oh man. So are they going
And
to
everybody's like, wow, he's the starter now. You guys are forgetting. GJ Kinney don't give a anything. He doesn't care about anything. He'll blow up the whole roster tomorrow.
To put a bow on the entire thing, because I don't think we're gonna. Do you want to talk baseball at all?
Not really.
Okay, so this will wrap the show then. To put a bow on all of it, none of this really matters because there's only 20 guys in this roster that you probably can guarantee will be here at the end, and then there's probably 20 guys that
You want to go through that list?
No, I don't.
Guys?
I do not. No, do not make me name the 20 guys on this roster. Do not do that. Don't do that. That's terrible. That would be a terrible, terrible content. Don't do that. Then there's 20 guys who are probably on the fence that you probably can see coming back, and there's 20 guys who probably leave. We're not doing this, Jacob. Do not.
I'm
go
not.
through
I'm
this
not. I'm
roster,
just looking
okay?
at it. I'm just looking.
So-
Tajay Atkins is on the team though.
So that's how you need to go about this weekend. Is that have a good time, enjoy the process. We'll find out if they actually give a crap about marketing and all the other stuff. But
The answer is no. I can already tell you that.
it's frustrating that way. And then we'll see kind of where we sit. I would say June, July is probably the best time to look at this roster and have a really good idea of what we're going to get. Because I do think that we get one more running back in the portal, and I think we lose probably 2 or 3 defensive players to the portal. Just because it's a new defensive coordinator, and we are going to see a shift in the defensive mindset. And there's going to be guys who don't think that they fit that type of system. That's just, again, off the rip, that's what the vibes tell me. And knowing college football and the landscape we live in, if we can keep, like I said, if we can keep 40 guys off this roster, that's a huge win for Texas State, just for a contingency and continuity standpoint. But I would guarantee you're going to lose 10 to 15 guys.
I
At
scrolled
least.
all the way down to the quarterbacks immediately because I know for a fact GJ Kinney loves quarterbacks. We're
Yep.
probably going to get at least one more because the 2 backups that we have right now are redshirt freshmen. And this guy likes guys with experience, guys that
Yep.
have kind of been around the block.
And it's good for
We-
Brad, too, because it's like, hey, challenge him for the position. Like, nothing is given, you know?
Remember Keldrick Luster? Remember everybody that?
No.
No. Remember, what was homeboy's name? RJ Martinez,
I do remember RJ Martinez.
the great Mexican hope. People were saying.
Some were saying.
Some were saying.
Not on the side, but yeah, some were saying.
So yeah, really cool. It would be really sick if a Bobcat got drafted. I just don't think it's going to happen. To kind of talk about what you were talking about before I rolled the intro and everything else. Like, shout out the NFL draft today. I only really watched the first round. Really hoping Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech does not get drafted.
He's gonna get drafted first.
And
round.
I really am hoping he doesn't get drafted to the Cowboys, because then that guy is literally just living my ideal life. Like my manifestations, marrying a helicopter pilot, playing college football at a very high level, being drafted by the Dallas Cowboys,
having a killer
sweet
mustache. Yep.
Driving a truck.
What the worst part of this whole thing? He goes to the Cowboys and then they fall ass backwards into a championship, and now he's a Super Bowl champion, Jacob Rodriguez.
And he's gonna get on the Ring of Honor.
Turn off the Xbox is what they would tell Jacob now.
Yeah. No,
Change
I've
your
already
name.
tweeted it. If he gets drafted by the Cowboys, like, I have to rebrand completely.
And there's no other team that fits your personality. That's the worst part. Like you'd be stuck.
No, I'm saying like my name, everything.
Yeah. That changing the name would be easier than changing your NFL team.
Yeah. 100%. I've invested way too much in the Cowboys to change that, dude.
Yeah. Who cares?
My
about
name's
your
only
name?
been my name for like, 28 years. So
Yeah. Your Cowboy fandom lifetime.
more than that. My family's been disappointed by the Cowboys for generations.
Yeah, I hate to see it.
Shout out Tom Landry from Mission, Texas. 956, baby.
Yeah. Shout out Jerry Jones for firing him.
So I'll see you at the spring game. If you see me out there, say what's up.
GGG unit.
Thanks for listening. New episodes out every Thursday. Follow the boys on Twitter.
did it!
Eat 'em up. Eat 'em up.
Shout out to everybody also who misses the "we ain't got no badges" thing. Working on adding that back. Working on adding a lot of other things back too. But stupid Riverside, dude. I hate it so much.